Tech upsets number 12 Clemson in a walk-off field goal. And now Clemsoning is back. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, welcome. You picked one hell of a segment to join us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button and join the community by answering the question in the comments below. Did you expect Georgia Tech to knock off Dabo Swinney's Clemson in Atlanta? Oh my goodness. What a hell of a game for Brent Key, who came into this game knowing that they got the measure of ranked ACC teams. You know how I know this? They had beaten 6 of the last 7 ranked ACC opponents they had faced, and Clemson becomes number 7 of 8 with a dramatic win. Haynes King played outstanding football, man. Once again, he is the heart and soul of that program. 20 of 28 for 211 is great. What's better? 25 rushes, 110 yards on the ground, a TD. Jamal Haynes didn't have the best day, 12 rushes, 26 yards, but he had the TD. Eric Rivers was coming up big a couple of times, particularly in the first half with 3 catches, 72 yards. But more than anything else, I was astounded at just how little Clemson could do offensively. Cade Klubnik held in check, man, 15 of 26 for 207. When they were finally getting something going with Adam Randall, they went away from it. I mean, he ends up the game 15 rushes for 80 yards, 5.3 yards per carry. And yes, Bryant Wesco Jr. played great, 7 catches for 26 yards. But Georgia Tech also really excited to pick up that $50,000 field storming fine because that's what they're going to get. I didn't think the fire drill was going to work. It's from 50 plus. Usually when you got to run a fire drill, you don't have any timeouts left. You're running your offensive unit off the field. You're running your special team unit on the field. Some of those guys are on your offensive unit are also on your special teams for place kicking. They get out there, they get lined up, and this dude hit a simple draw right down between the uprights. Outstanding victory for a Georgia Tech team that now I really got to think about ranking. And get to drop Clemson. Like that's just what it's going to be, dog. Like they are a losing football team now. Think about that for a second. You're coming off the loss to LSU. Now you're coming off this loss to Georgia Tech. Yeah, you beat Troy, but you were supposed to beat Troy. Now you're 1-2. You're 1-2. You go from being somebody's number 1 team. I never will forget. There were national college football analysts like myself who ranked Clemson at number 1, and I'm going, I don't see it, dog. And then they take that win, or they lost to LSU, but now that LSU win does not look so great. And Florida's got to feel great about this going into their game tonight, because one of the things we're figuring out is Alabama is not as bad as we thought. Florida State might be actually that good. They're idle this week. Alabama throttled Wisconsin today. I mean, Ty Simpson was a monster, 24-29 for 382 with 4 TDs. Ryan Williams, 5 catches, 165, 2 TDs. That dude has had 9 catches. 3 of them have been touchdowns, 243 yards over the last 2 games. Granted, last week they didn't play nobody. You know, they played Louisiana Monroe, but you get the point there. You're seeing some separation now. And now Georgia Tech, they've been building toward this for 2 straight seasons. This did not come out of nowhere. They knocked off Florida State last year, knocked them out of the top 10. They showed us who Florida State was. They showed us who Miami was. They showed us just exactly who this Clemson team is, and they took Georgia into the deep water 8 overtimes in Athens. They're due. They were always due. Now you got to talk about Georgia Tech alongside Florida State and Miami as possible champs in the ACC. And we might be seeing the beginning of the end once again for Clemson, who we thought was on its way back, still could be on its way back, after winning the ACC championship. But you got to win games like this one, tight games like this one, games that we haven't seen Dabo Swinney and his crowd lose in quite some time. On top of that, I just watched Virginia get right with 55-16 win against William and Mary. Again, it's William and Mary, but you're seeing the gap is beginning to close. Syracuse got good last year, right? They won 10 games. They come back this year. They get a great win with Steve Angeli at quarterback after running sprints for barely beating a UConn team that won 9 games last year, by the way. It ain't that bad. I am really excited to see what this Georgia Tech team is able to do the rest of the way. Are they built to play for a championship in the ACC? Absolutely. In the college football playoff, we'll have to wait and see. It is a team that is hard to run the football against. It is a team that is hard to stop the run against. The way they were able to bow up when it came time to do so and had Dabo Swinney in fits, running up to his defense, yelling at people, running up to his offense, yelling at people, wearing out the referees, You could tell that this man did not know if he was coming to go on. Meanwhile, Brent Key is stalking the sideline. He understands what he's got at quarterback. He knows that the +1 game is working for them. Buster Faulkner calling one hell of a game. Going to get some real attention for the Broyles Award this year if this keeps up. Blake Gidding is in year 1 as a defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, and he just got a win against Tom Allen and Clemson. Look, I know the dude went to Texas, but I'm excited for him. That right there has made your entire year. You beaten Colorado, who turns out to not be that good anyway, and now you beaten a ranked Clemson, who we thought was good, and now you're the reason that we no longer think they're good. If I have to make a comp here, it might be something similar to what we saw from Texas Christian in 2022. I wouldn't go as far as Indiana because that was a dramatic turnaround, unlike one we've ever seen before. But you can see how this team is beginning to believe that not only can they beat teams like Clemson week in and week out, they should be playing for championships. They should be playing the college football playoff. And Atlanta has long been a hotbed of high school football talent. And the question had always been, when can the Yellow Jackets start to just rope off the city and start bringing in guys like Cam Newton, who was from Atlanta, to play football there? Winning football games like this with a quarterback from Longview, Texas, might actually be enough. You lost Eric Singleton to Auburn for $1 million. Imagine if Eric Singleton had stayed put and you got him and Eric Rivers catching passes for Haynes King. Imagine if you're able to keep a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs instead of him transferring to Bama. There's talent that runs through that place. You can get good in a hurry. Like, I've watched Georgia Tech edge rushers go elsewhere. Now you're probably going to get boosters to throw in some more money to help you out, to try to keep this talent at Georgia Tech and turn Georgia Tech into the kind of team that, dare I say, can beat Georgia later this year. Because that, all of a sudden, is becoming appointment viewing, especially given what we might see from this Tennessee-Georgia game to come. Georgia's able to get a win, great. If not, you're Georgia Tech, you're going, we're due. We're supposed to beat that team this year. They got a new starter at quarterback. They're young on the offensive side. They're young on the defensive side. And you are grizzled. You are veterans. You know how to play when the game is on the line. You know how to really make it hard for other teams to win when it's a one-score ball game. Remember, they were up 21-14, and then Clemson closed the thing with about 2 minutes left to go, and they kept their cool. They kept marching right down the field. They got in the field goal range. They knew how they were going to swap out their offensive unit and their place-kicking unit, and then they got a kicker who was ice cold, nails, in the biggest game of the season for them so far. My goodness, I am overjoyed for Brent Key. I'm overjoyed for Georgia Tech fans. Y'all deserve it. It's becoming a fun team to watch. It's becoming a bona fide college football darling, because they ain't nothing to Georgia Tech except pieces. Like, I know that y'all want to talk about Haynes King being a Heisman finalist. That ain't what he's going to be. But he's a gamer, and I like watching him play, and I like watching your team play, and I think you're going to continue to see more people that give a damn about Georgia Tech football because of wins like today.